Hey guys, welcome back. Once again, please hit that like button and subscribe to your favorite anti-authoritarian figure on YouTube. But on today's topic, I just want to talk about the whole, mixed race, or sorry, the if you are biracial or even mixed, that's somebody with two mixed parents. Biracial, somebody with one parent that's a different race from the other parent, and you just happened to be, light skinned. This goes out to those golden spear YouTubers and them trying to push this whole light skin unity thing. And I got some bad news for that. That won't really work. And this doesn't really have anything to do with the men. However, on the other side, it really has a lot to do, with the exotical women. And I forgot what his name was. I think his name was Globe Light. But this entire, forcing light-skinned men to date light-skinned women, that might work online, but in real life, most mixed race women who happen to be light-skinned are usually subordinate to the Bantus, or as I like to say, the black supremacists or dark skin supremacists. And most of them tend to lean toward the black supremacists, or on the other end, white folks or white supremacist ideology. And they usually do that. I forgot who said this. I think it was Mulatto Vanguard who said that these women typically lean towards black men. When I say black men, I usually mean dark skinned black men, or they lean towards the white men. And they almost never go for a mixed race guy or a guy who just happens to be light skinned. And that's usually how these women operate. Yeah, they'll continue throwing you under the bus and all that to to appease the dumb, and they'll keep doing it to gain validation from these men, which is why I say for mixed race children, I think the worst woman to be raised by is probably a mixed race or light skinned woman, because 98% of them are already subjected to black supremacy, or if they were raised in a white environment, then they would be subjected to, the white supremacist ideology. That doesn't really work for the men. However, for the women, like you gotta understand that most of these, exotical women in real life, none of the, golden spear community, that's how they'll operate. And unless you were in South America, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, or Florida, maybe California, some parts of New York, anywhere else. That's not gonna work. So this is just a little message to the Golden Spirit community trying to push this whole unity. I don't have nothing against it, but if you want this whole light unity to be viral, there's only one person stopping it. Well, there's multiple people stopping it. However, the one group of women that you want for that to happen don't actually want that to happen. And trust me when I say this, for mixed race individuals, who happen to be light skinned or even a light skinned, men with two black parents, this is what I just have to say. You're better off dating outside your race. If you want my opinion, like I said, just date outside your race. Don't even bother. Because if you go for a mixed race woman who happens to be light or a light skinned woman, you're gonna lose. Anyway, that's all.